Today, we would like to focus your attention upon the topic of the Akashic Records. There are many questions surrounding the Akashic Records, and it is our intention to share our perspective in hopes that it may help to answer some of these perplexing mysteries in this regard. We will be touching upon not only what the Akashic Records are, as well as how one may access these records consciously. Many more of you at this time are becoming aware of your infinite power to create all that you desire to experience. As you are evolving, you are also regaining the knowledge that has remained hidden in plain view. The Akashic Records are essentially the record of all that is, all that ever was, and all that will ever be. This is what many find so perplexing. How can there be a record of what will be if it has not happened yet? How can there still be free will? Ah, what an intriguing question, and this is where our discussion will begin. We will first request that you keep in mind that time as you know it is an illusion. It is not actually real, it is only perceived in the reality which you currently exist. However, as we have expressed many times before, from our perspective time is simply a marker. It can be used much like you use the page numbers in a book. You are free to scroll back and forth in whatever manner you desire. The page numbers simply allow you to find the experience you are choosing to focus your attention on. This in a sense is how we prefer to utilize time. With that analogy in mind, it may be easier to contemplate how all of existence is happening simultaneously, rather than in a linear line formed by a past, present, and a future. Therefore, from our perspective, the past, present, and future are simply different perspectives of the same now moment, as now is the only time that actually exists. Although the Akashic Records are a record of all that ever was, is, and will be, it is also continually changing, shifting, and evolving. We realize that this may be difficult to comprehend because of the agreed-upon belief in linear time. We are attempting to simplify what seems to be a very complex topic into something that can still be understood with the agreed-upon temporary limitations which you have taken on. The understanding that the Akashic Records are changing, shifting, and evolving with all of you, is key to understanding how history, past events, future events, and life paths can and are continually altered. We are using past and future tense in order to help you to better understand our explanation. When you change an ingrained belief, learn a life lesson, master a challenge, or grow and evolve in consciousness, you are essentially changing all other versions of you as well. This knowledge is then recorded in the Akashic Records for all others to then subconsciously access, so they may also benefit from it if they so choose. These records are constantly changing and evolving with every choice that each being makes. The reality that would most likely have manifested can and often does change with the shift in choices and decisions that are consistently being made. From our perspective, the past is just as probable as the future. This may seem perplexing to you due to your perception of time, however, the choices that you make today do in fact affect the past, present, and future. It is just that your minds are not currently focused on perceiving any other past than the one you remember experiencing. Upon the transition from the physical to the non-physical world, every soul is offered the opportunity to access the Akashic Records consciously to review the life which they just lived. In some sense, it is similar to watching a holographic movie of your entire life, although this movie recorded every thought, person, belief, experience, and decision that was ever made in your life, to help you to better learn and grow from what you experienced. Now imagine that these records are not recording just one of your lives, but all of them. Now imagine that these records record not only all of your lives, but every soul, in every one of their lives, on every world. This is how immense these records are. It is the totality of all that is. In a sense, the Akashic Records can be compared to a giant universal library, where all souls can gain access to the universal knowledge of every soul to further learn and grow from. As we stated earlier, these records are continually being updated and evolving with the experiences that continually upload into the records. When one being learns or creates something, the recipe is then available for all others to access and further build upon that knowledge. This is how all that is continues to grow, learn, and evolve. The Akashic record essentially allows every being the ability to consistently innovate upon what has already been discovered. Many are now wondering, where are these records stored? They are everywhere and yet they are nowhere. Let us explain. Space is yet another illusion which you have temporarily agreed to perceive. However, like time, space also does not actually exist from our perspective. We say that they are everywhere because these records are encoded in each one of your cells, each strand of DNA of every being, and yet it is not physical. It is not a place, but rather a state of mind or vibrational reality. All beings have access to these records, there are no exceptions. All that stands between you and gaining access to these records consciously is your vibration, resonance, and rate of frequency. You may gain access to these records consciously by setting your intention to do so, and being ready and open to receive it. This can be referred to as channeling the information from the higher realms. Certainly every being within existence has this ability, however many have allowed this muscle to atrophy, and as a result, many find it difficult to connect with the higher realms. A quiet mind and a focused state of receiving are essential to opening yourself up to channeling information from the higher realms. Through intention and practice, all beings can regain this ability. We encourage you to call upon us and we will gladly connect with you if it is your desire to do so. We hope that we have in some way served you. In love and light, we are your angelic guides.